Federation of Australian Motorsport and the international governing body, the FIA, are big on road safety, and in particular messages to young people about taking speed, taking things like that off our streets. The racetrack, Peter Pham, is a great place for them to play, particularly if they're interested in drifting.
Yep, certainly. Like, drifting's awesome, and you can come down, enjoy your car in a safe environment, and yeah, nothing to worry about.
So the program you run is called Drift Cadets. Tell us a bit more about it. It's on display here at the skid pan at Winton, and of course you're cutting some laps this weekend, aren't you?
Yep. Oh well, it's a revive and drive program where we supply the car, the instructors, the fuel, the tyres, the license, and all the participants need to do is just pay for the fee and just rock up and drive and enjoy the time. No hassles.
That's the great thing I like about it. So if you are an aspiring drifter, but perhaps you don't own a car yet, you can still come and play, can't you?
Exactly. No troubles. That's it.
Righto. So how do they find out about the program and more about what you guys are doing?
Just head over to our website, www.driftcadet.com.au, and all the info is on there.
So there you go. We hope you enjoy it. Just one of the many activities happening around Winton Motor Raceway this weekend, the Drift Cadets.
Great work there, Greg Rust. And hang on a second, how did you get there so quickly?
Magic of TV, Kevin.
How beautiful is the weather here in Benalla? In Winton.
It was a little chilly this morning when we arrived here, but a glorious day. Doesn't get any better in terms of Father's Day in some respects, to come and see a little bit of quality motor racing, all sorts of categories. Formula 4 still to come, and right now at the moment, Peter Pham, who we were chatting to there a moment ago, out in the little Toyota. It's supercharged, I should point out too, and showing us what it's like in drift trim with some handy clutch work and a bit of handbrake work too.
It's what I love about circuits like Winton. You can really get all sorts of racing out here. You have things like skid pans, and a lot of the local circuits out in our regional areas have drag strips and also multiple tracks. And it's got a bit of noise, the 86 behind us.
It sure does. And wouldn't that make a nice little, maybe, I'm just throwing it out there, a little addition to the program. Imagine a drift meet at night after the racing wraps up on a Saturday at the Shannons Nats. That's a little suggestion for the suggestion.
It's not unheard of. We've seen it happen before at Sydney Motorsport Park. I've left a motor racing event to go past the drifting event that was going on there as well. Under lights, it's always good to see. And I remember when this sort of first came to our attention, I think it would have been early 2000s, around 99, 2000, and we were all just clambering over DVDs back then of the images that came from Japan that were just unbelievable, and it's really taken hold.
That's the spiritual home of it. Japan is kind of really where it all kicked off, and guys like Mad Mike Cadet, that's what inspired him. DVDs and perhaps even VHS before that, what they were getting up to back then. And you know, in Australia here, it's been competitors like Bo Yates, who's had various different Toyotas over time that have really helped lead that younger generation. They do love the competition. It brings together car control. There's a bit of flair and showmanship in it, in addition to the competitive element.
Yeah, and there's a bit of crossover as well we see in the sport. I know Jack Monkhouse, who's a rally driver from way back, been part of the Australian Rally Championship. He's turned his hand quite well at drifting, and Shane Van Gisbergen, we know that he loves to go out there and drift as well. But Mad Mike Cadet, great story, and I'm going to give you a bit of a plug. I know you won't do it for yourself. Have a listen to Rusty's Garage. Your chat with him is fantastic.
Thank you, mate. Yeah, I mean, he's a really inspiring individual, a guy based at Hampton Downs, effectively. That's where he calls it his mad lab. And, I mean, he's forged a great relationship with Mazda. He's got some incredible cars in his garage. And what he does, he said to me technically, as we continue to watch Peter Pham in action on track, what they can do now with these cars, what they've been able to achieve in a dynamic sense. You know, I mean, they can back these cars in literally 180 degrees from what they're meant to be doing, the direction they're meant to be going, at 200 k's an hour and still catch it. Amazing.
And you know what else I like? He loves rotaries.
Yeah, he does. He loves rotaries. And he conceded to me that he's had offers from other manufacturers, but he's remained fiercely loyal. And that following he has in rotary terms is huge, in Mazda terms.
Now, we've seen some great racing today, and we've got so much more to come. The Australian production cars is a 2-hour race, and yesterday was a belter. It
was, and you know, Simpson, Policina, they kept the pressure on. We had some issues for Tim Lay and for Berwick Linton. It's not the first time we've seen that kind of creep in. Maybe that issue that they have had at Bathurst and here at Winton is unique to those sort of circuits. And the great thing I'm loving about the Jacuzzi Spas Australian Production Car Championship at the moment is the fact that some circuits lend themselves to particular cars and others, other competitors shine, don't they?
I expected, I'll be honest with you, amongst the Lotuses, that the fastest car was going to be Grant Denyer, Tony D'Alberto. I just assumed that would be the case, but the Policina and Simpson car, that really did have the genuine pace of the outright from the Lotus cars in particular.
Most definitely. So if you're watching the coverage, our live stream here, and you've got a particular driver or team that you're following, make sure you get involved in the shout-outs. You can leave a comment underneath the live stream or do it via social media. Use the hashtag Shannons Nats, and there's lots of fun being had here at the circuit and by people who are perhaps having a barbecue or kicking back and watching the live stream coverage for Father's Day. Very cool.
Oh, it is great to see so many people, and thank you for all the thumbs up. We've had a couple of questions. One of them, what's the weather like? Rusty, can you answer that?
I'm no weather guy, but it's pretty damn good at the moment.
Oh, I'm about to lose the jacket.
Hardly any wind around. Spring has arrived, and this is the perfect illustration of that.
Yeah, and as this temperature starts to come up, and it is starting to come up at the moment, the track will go off slightly. So we'll see some differences in the times that we saw this morning. And I think we got the 944s if you want to roll around. They're about to go out on track. It won't affect it too much for them, but the Cam's Pace Australian Formula 4 Championship, that's heating up as well as we get towards the end of their season. We saw round 4 yesterday. Today is round 5 of that championship, a double round for want of a better term. And there's some great young stars coming up through there at the moment.
Most definitely, and with eyes on different things. I mean, some clearly have aspirations for supercars, others perhaps Formula One or overseas ambitions. So we need a quick commercial break. You've just seen the 944 Challenge cars rolling up here in pit lane. We'll bring you that in just a few moments. A big thanks to Peter Pham and to all of the team from Drift Cadets. You can Google that and find out some more info on it. You can arrive and drive or take part in the series. Great initiative by the Confederation of Australian Motorsport. A break and back with more.